Hey, didn't see you there. You know, people always ask me, what's the highest scoring move I've ever played in Scrabble? I'll tell you. It was April 7th, a Thursday, 5:34 p.m. I played ER for 2 points, and I'll never top that. But, according to official records, some players have managed to score even higher than that in just one move. The highest scoring opening move in a game of North American Tournament Scrabble was Muzjiks by Jesse Inman for 126 points. The highest scoring non-triple-triple was Kazeeks for 161 by Marlene Milkent. The highest scoring non-bingo was Rorquals by Karen Merrill for 243 points. But for the title of the highest scoring single move in North American Tournament Scrabble history, it's actually a three-way tie between Braziers, Freezers, and Thiazine for 311 points. But this is not the maximum, not even close. There is a theoretical play that scores more than all of these combined. If you're a fan of Scrabble content or of Vsauce, you've probably already seen it. I say theoretical because it's never happened in a tournament before and almost certainly never will. It takes a very specific set of moves with very slight variation, starting with player 1 playing unled, player 2 playing re, player 1 responding with like, player 2 extending that to ladder like, player 1 playing avour, player 2 playing erd, player 1 playing halt, player 2 responding with he, player 1 playing uts, player 2 laying down arrowing and making all of these overlaps, player 1 playing uta, player 2 playing woe, player 1 responding with uugamate, player 2 playing merle, player 1 playing establish, player 2 extending it to establishments, player 1 playing no, player 2 responding with on, player 1 playing qualify, player 2 extending it to qualifying, player 1 extending that to requalifying, player 2 playing pair, player 1 responding with ya, which y'all might remember is actually a type of pair, player 2 playing Pacific, player 1 extending that to pacifications, player 2 playing ed, leading to player 1 being able to play oxyphenbutazone, hooking to form opacifications, ext, pre-qualifying, narrowing, bladder light, zoogamete, and establishments, while also getting the dreaded triple, scoring 1,786 points. Wow. So, is oxyphenbutazone the highest scoring move in Scrabble? No. All of the top experts and the infallible Michael Stevens are wrong. But how could we possibly beat 1,786 points? We'll have to use a special technique. There are only two things that I do in Scrabble more than the GOAT, Nigel Richards. Number 1 is lose games. Number 2 is play invalid words. That second thing is called phoneying, and it's something Nigel Richards hardly ever does. In the rules of Scrabble, it says that if you play a word and your opponent thinks that it's not in the dictionary, they can choose to challenge it. And if they're right, it is removed from the board and you lose your turn. But if they don't challenge, the move, and more importantly its score, stays. Thus, it can be said that any sequence of letters is valid in Scrabble as long as your opponent doesn't challenge. Using this, we can absolutely destroy the paltry 1,786 points of oxyphenbutazone. Let's see how you do it. First, player 1 plays bio, which is in fact in the Scrabble dictionary. Then player 2 plays biologist, another valid word, followed by player 1 extending it to the astonishing astrobiologist, which is valid as well, followed by player 2 self-descriptively playing ah. Instead of challenging, player 1 extends it to ah. Player 2 extends that to untani, which doesn't mean anything, and never will. Player 1 plays impavek. Player 2 plays wa. Player 1 plays uwadadup. Player 2 extends it to uwadadapegado. Player 1 plays f, overlapping to form fn and hut. Player 2 is unsure if these are in the dictionary because they haven't seen my video on two-letter words, instead playing andillo. Player 1 responds by extending it to andiloquence. Player 2 plays ya. Player 1 finally decides to challenge, but alas, ya is a valid word, and they lose their turn. Player 2 extends impebek to impebekademok. After losing their last turn to a lost challenge, player 1 decides not to challenge this word, instead playing yuwuv. Player 2 responds with eternance. Player 1 plays vn. Player 2 plays aririr, which player 1 extends to aririririan, allowing player 2 to out bingo with hooking to form quadripegadol, xantiloquence, gastrobiologist, faternts, cariririan, high, and zimpbekadecamalt, scoring a grand total of 2,934 points. Player 1 stares at this word, astounded, then sits and ponders, thinking to themselves, there's no way high is a real word. As they're about to challenge, they realize, oh wait, no, like the greeting, and decide to let the play stand, leaving this to be the highest scoring Scrabble play of all time. The only limit to our score here is the number of tiles in Scrabble, that being only 100. In addition, there are actually like a bajillion different variations to get to this point, since which tiles are played beforehand and in what order doesn't really matter. In fact, this board, or one like it, could feasibly be played by 2 babies with a Scrabble board. Sadly, 2 babies are probably the only players that would ever be able to play a game of Scrabble this stupid. I cannot think of anyone else who would allow the 26 obvious phonies needed for this to happen. This is why I think we should petition NASPA to add an infant Scrabble championship in addition to its youth Scrabble event, just so we could get the chance to see a play that beats even oxyphenbutazone. Have a nice day!